All right, another great sunny morning to start our framing again. Check out the layout so far. The framers have put all the rim boards in place, the beams are in place. You see all the pockets ready for the joists and the TGIs to be put inside. So I'm gonna get a little bit more technical today with the framing. I'm gonna explain to you some of the challenges that we've had and how we've overcome them, and something that's actually quite common when you start pouring foundations of this size. All right, let's go back a bit and talk about concrete foundations for a second. There's actually two ways that you can pour a concrete foundation. In one shot or in two shots. Now what I mean by one shot is, the way we poured it, meaning the footings and the walls formed and the concrete was placed, done. Walls are stripped, the foundation is done. The second way of doing it is you first pour the footings, let it cure, you build the walls on top of the footings, formwork, and then you pour it, and then you strip it. And that's called a two-part pour. The outcome is going to be still the same foundation. Now, there's going to be challenges and disadvantages when it comes to pouring it in one shot. One shot, where the footings and the walls are poured at the same time, whereby you only incur the placing and the pumping charges once. Now, the savings in time are obviously going to be there because you don't have to wait, but there are some challenges that come afterwards. Let's have a look at them. Pour a concrete foundation that's this tall. In one shot, you can experience settlement. Now, what I mean by settlement is the entire perimeter where the high walls are poured will have a tendency of settling down because of the weight of the concrete wall over top of the formwork. Now, just imagine, footings 24 inches wide with the cleats supporting the formwork of the walls laterally, that has a tendency of flex once you put so much weight on top of it. Now, in our case, we had an average of 7/16 to half-inch settlement, perfect to slide in a half-inch piece of plywood all the way around the entire perimeter. Now, if you look at the inside, where the strip footings are, those will see absolutely no settlement because the wall weight is negligible considering the size of the footings. So you don't see any kind of shimming there. And if you look across here, the beams are resting on top of the half-inch, but zero at the top of the walls on the inside. So that's how we correct settlement when it comes to high walls for foundations. Let's talk about pouring the concrete foundation in two shots. The first step is to pour the footings, which is the 24 inches wide. You pour the entire base of it. You have the rebar sticking out. You pour it, you let it dry. After that, you put the formwork on top of that for the walls. You do the rebars, you pour it, you let it dry, strip it, and there's your foundation. Done in two shots. Now, by doing it this way, you incur the pumping charges twice, you incur the placing charges twice, and you also take a little bit longer because there's two different steps, and you might incur about 4 or 5 days extra time. Okay, let's let the framers get to work. They're gonna start dropping in TGIs and joists in place for the support of the main floor. We're gonna have one last look afterwards to see how the layout is, and then it's plywood time.